ובספר בעל שם טוב, עמוד התפילה, אויס קכ"ה. says, אל תהיו כעבודם המשם שנסרב ומנס לקבל פרס, אלא להביא כעבודם המשם שנסרב, שלא יהיה מנס לקבל פרס. says, ויש גרסה אחרינו, המנס שלא יהיה לקבל פרס. In this world we invest for something that we're going to realize in the future. This is the nature of our current state of existence. The realization of what we are doing and why we are doing it is not yet in the present. It's going to come in the future. The future is going to bring it to the present, but for now we are working for it. And so this work, if we want to carry it correctly, if we want to know an accurate spirit that was the design of creation, then this work should be done out of love and compassion for what exists and not for the future benefit that's going to eventually come. Doing it for the future benefit that's going to eventually come is wonderful, because at least you're doing it, you're helping the world, you're building, you're creating it, but you're not going to enjoy it. Because in the meantime, you're always going to be looking for something you don't yet have. So you're going to be in a state of lack, in a state where you have a desire for something that's not yet here. And so it says, no, you do your service out of love and compassion, and when you get rewarded, you will enjoy it out of love and compassion. Don't mix the times. Do everything with a full heart, so that you don't have to carry the calculation of, am I getting for it or am I not getting for it, and how much am I getting for it? That's just going to be a distraction. If you really care about the world, if you care about humanity, if you care about our plight, then don't be concerned about what will come. Trust the design. The design is, if you do good, the Creator, who designed the world perfectly, has already designed that it will result in good. You, your soul, is marrying good. And so a marriage to good will result in good. And if we do evil, if we are cruel, then that becomes the partner that we have to deal with, not only when we're in the body, but also when we leave the body. Cruel comes with, compassionate comes with, kind comes with, caring comes with, lack of caring, cruel comes with. And so everything goes with the soul. And therefore we are marrying the things, not the results. Don't be concerned what the result will be. You marry kindness. What kindness will do for you? Oh, kindness can do for you plenty. Kindness will do, and even when you leave the body, kindness will continue doing for you. But you do it out of kindness. Don't marry kindness in order to use her to get something. Marry kindness because you love her. And then she will do for you the most. And the other version is that he's doing it al manas shelo lekabel pras. He's doing it only with the condition that he will not receive a reward. So it says, "V'shemati m'Adonai v'zkani," I heard from my grandfather. This is the Degel Machne Ephraim. I heard from the Baal Shem Tov. Sheshnei hagirsos nechonim. Both of them can be accurate. The both ways of reading. These are two different levels. There are two levels of how a person could do his actions in this world, can do what life requires doing, in which relationship, out of which emotion is he doing them. So there are two levels. One is higher than the other. In order to do it, not because you're thinking of the reward, that's a very high level. He's thinking about the needs of the world, the needs of humanity, the needs of the one who designed life. That's really who this belongs to. Tomorrow, I don't know, and I won't ever get to know. And so who does it belong to? Does it belong to me, the one who doesn't know and will never get to know? Or does it belong to the one who created it, who knows it already and will always know it? He knows tomorrow now. And so does it belong to him? Or does it belong to me? I can't know tomorrow. There's nothing I can do about that. And so it all belongs to him. So you're praying because you want to help him with his project called humanity. You want to assist. You have a divine spirit that remembers its origin, and it wants to assist in the project called life to establish a human community that actually loves each other and cares about each other and knows how to respect life and how to live with a full heart and with all the participation of all the organs, the way they were designed to be. And so when he does this prayer, he does it for a higher purpose. He doesn't afterwards stand and watch if it comes or it doesn't come. He says, I did for the greater good. I prayed. Now the greater good will do with that whatever is best to do with that. He knows what to do with that prayer that's best for that prayer. What can it do? So that's the most beneficial for humanity, which is the purpose, which was the intention. And so he lets go as soon as he's done praying, because it's not about the outcome. It's about how do I help the collective, and then the outcome will be what it will be. I do good, I invest good. Good will somehow sprout somewhere from it, and it's not my concern where and how and when. That's already up to a higher intelligence that knows better than me where it will do best. And so he lets go. So the same thing, everything that he does in the world. He's not doing it because he personally needs to have pleasure. He's doing it because the world was designed that a human needs pleasure. A human needs pleasure, so you have to make sure you have the right pleasure, you have what you need so that this human has what it needs. But it's not because of ego. It says, no, I deserve pleasure, but the other one should have pleasure. Why should he have pleasure? So this means, it's not about the human. So why you? You're different. You're someone else. You deserve differently than others. That's avodah zarah. What have you made yourself into? And so I need pleasure because a human needs pleasure. All humans need pleasure. Okay, that's great. Everybody needs to have what they need to have. But I need pleasure because I'm I, and nobody else I care about. So then, that's avodah zarah. You made yourself into avodah zarah. What are you, something else? Someone else created you? You're not part of the bunch? And so he says, this man, he doesn't pray for himself because he is he. He prays because he's human, and humans need to do what they need to do. And part of it is praying. Awakening the right words within the Shekhinah. Reminding the soul what she really wants and needs. Because there's been so much confusion on this planet. And so, he's doing it for the right purpose, not for his own benefit. There's an even higher level. There's someone who is completely in love with the king. And the only way that they can feel good with themselves is when they're next to the king. And so he says, the king says, this month, anybody who wants something can come. I'm ready to listen and I want to give people what they want. This man who is in love with the king, when he comes in front of the king to pray, to ask for what he wants, he says, this man, he doesn't really want the king to give him what he's asking. He just wants to be able to come again and again and ask for it. Because he wants to be close to the king. He wants to remember how it works. He wants to remember who is giving and how the giving happens. And so he's so happy in prayer because it reminds him the relationship that he has with the one who can fulfill prayer. And that's enough for him. It doesn't really matter anything else. And so he says, he's davening, but he doesn't really want the prayer to be fulfilled. He just wants to come back to the king. Like the real person who understands where are they poor will know that that his prayer is that he should be able to pray. Tefillah lo nikiato, what is the prayer of the poor man, the one who knows what poor means? Lifnei Hashem yesh persicho, his prayer is, let me continue spilling my heart to you, so I can remember that there is you, so I can remember that before I was born, now, and after I leave the body, I report to the same one. It will never change. And so that's his desire, that he should always remember that and know who he is negotiating with, and not assume that he is negotiating with an outside party. The outside party is a result of your negotiations with an inside party. And so if you want to negotiate, you negotiate in prayer. And then the outside will manifest accordingly. So this person, so his prayer is on the condition that you shouldn't fulfill my prayer. I pray because I want to come close to the king. I know that this heals the worlds. I want to help the worlds heal, and I come close to the king. I bring my soul in a place where it can feel the light, so it doesn't forget like the rest of humanity. And so this is his goal for prayer. It's not really about getting something from there. He's not trying to get anything. He's trying to be close to the light so that his soul can heal, so that he can help humanity heal. So that was from the Degel Machnefraim. The next one is Ois Kiv Chavov from the Tzafnas Paneach. שמעתי ממורי כי השכינה נקרא תפילה, כמו שכוסף בכסובים, ואני תפילה. So the word ani represents the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah is the one that dwells within all. So if anybody finds himself somewhere and says I, he's really pointing at the Shekhinah. There isn't an other I over there. It's just the Shekhinah grew out in this form. The Shekhinah grew into this flower. The Shekhinah grew into this fruit. And a certain type of fruit that we're very, very familiar with grows within a womb. But it's also a fruit. Just a very clever fruit. It knows how to fool itself into all kinds of beliefs and all kinds of drawings and all kinds of stories. But in the essence, it's a fruit that grows on the Shekhinah. And so this fruit is also just the Shekhinah. And that's why when this fruit points at itself, it says Ani. Ani meaning the Shekhinah. I. Hello. I have arrived in a form where I can express myself. And so there, where it says Ani Tfilah, says who is the Shekhinah? What is she? What is her essence? Her essence is prayer. What is the essence of the Nefesh HaMedaberes? It's speech in order to express soul. What's the expression of soul? Oh, the soul yearns towards the source of life. The soul yearns to feel safe and secure in life. The soul yearns to feel loved in life. Because this is how it's used to in the home. This is what it yearns for, because this is her nature. This is her essence. This is where it's home. It wants to feel at home. In the body, it can forget how it feels to be at home. The body can become a strange land for the soul. And so the soul yearns for home. And that's the tefillah, that's the prayer, to be close to her source. וגם בבאל שם שיספר ליוסף מגמס פנף לשכינה ליחדו בבעלו. When he prays, don't just think about your own disconnection from source, but think about the greater world and the disconnection from source. The Shekhinah is separated from source. Because all the intelligent ones that are supposed to attach her to source have abandoned their station and got busy with something else. Something they thought was more important, but really there's nothing more important. And so there was a separation. We experienced this separation by the separation of the Ruach from the Nefesh. The one that's thinking is offensive to the one that's experiencing the thought. The one that's speaking is offensive to the one that's experiencing the words. That means the Ruach and the Nefesh have been separated. When we will unite HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shekhinah, our spirit will unite with our soul that dwells within the body. It will never offend it. It will never do anything, create any type of internal media that's offensive to any organ. Why would it want to do that? That's not intelligent. And so there's been a disconnection between some very basic forces that are running us, and they are in conflict. Therefore, we are all in conflict, internally and externally. And so, he wants to unite the Shekhinah with her husband. If he thinks just about his personal situation, his personal condition, his personal desires, then the Shekhinah complains, says, you gave him speech, but he doesn't know who he's speaking for. He's forgotten his place. הביע מוירי ז"ל הטעם יויסר, כי אם יכב לתלס עצמי הגשמי שיעננו בתפילוסו לתלס הגשמי, אז נעשה מסך מבדיל, על ידי שהכניס הגשמי ברוח נשם, ואין עננו כלל ודיר פי חוכם חיים. It says, if his prayer comes with a desire for just the physical unit that he is, just for the individual, his individual body, so then when that goes up in the higher realms, this would create separation. And so it gets filtered. It can't even make it into the king, because if the king would see something like that, it would create separation between him and the rest of the world, between the physical and the spiritual, between the collective soul and individual souls. So this type of thinking can never cross. It can never go in to the source from where the prayers get answered. Prayers, in order for them to be answered, have to be about the Shekhinah, have to be about the collective burden of the massive pain that she is experiencing as humanity is being so clumsy and ignorant. And so when we will look for intelligence, then we will remember the soul, then we will no longer offend. And then the Shekhinah will be released from her exile. And so when one is only concerned about his own individual situation, he doesn't see the bigger picture. So then it says, you've given speech to one who doesn't know how to liberate me. And so this prayer can never go in, because it mixes the physical with the spiritual. It doesn't have the right perspective. And this relates to the general concept of when we formulate a thought, the closer it is to the way reality really works, the more effective it is. And so the same thing goes with prayer. If a prayer comes from the wrong intentions or for the wrong reasons or with the wrong emotion, it will never make it up to anywhere, because it gets filtered out so that it doesn't corrupt the nature of the world. There are times of when there's more negative energy, there's more kitrug, there's more anger within the world, that then things go in that we would much rather not go in. This was the wisdom of Bilam, to know when to curse, because then it might slip in and it might actually be manifested. But in general, when we want to pray, we want to help the world, it has to come from the right intention, it has to come from the right emotion. It has to be about the faith of humanity, because humanity is in the biggest trouble. Whatever little trouble we're in, humanity is in trouble. It's not us. Humanity has lost its way. Humanity is causing itself suffering. And this is a much greater concern than just humanity. This is about the design of creation and how we are supposed to be the intelligent ones that connect all the different parts so they cooperate with each other. And this is within our nature. It will eventually manifest when we will be a ripe fruit. For now, we're not yet ripe, so that's called arla, or an unripe fruit that's still bitter. And so humanity is still a bitter fruit. Humanity hasn't yet ripened enough to feel the sweetness of their own nature. Let's give Chav Zayin from the Ben-Peres Yosef, which is the same Mechaber, the Toldos Yaakov Yosef, also the Tzafnes Panech, and also the Ben-Peres Yosef. He says, Shemati Omer Yin HaTfilah, Hikri Amina Shiyam Shashem Zbech Mloch Lo Yitz Kavoidoi, Vayidei Zeh Ma'alei Menaseh Ragel HaShechina. So the belief is what affects the prayer. Whatever we believe while we pray, this is the world, the spiritual world that we are riding within this energy, and that's where it's going to go. So if there is a real location like that, then it will arrive. And so what's the intention here? That the light of the Creator fills all the worlds. So everything that exists because the Creator exists within it. If I'm speaking now, I'm using the light of the Creator to create. That's the only way I can do it. Without the light of the Creator, it wouldn't be possible. He is allowing me, that's the deal. He is giving me these organs, and he says, through these organs you can have my essence. You can have what I have, which is life, existence. You can have it with these organs, and you can manifest, you can create, you can think, you can feel, you can speak, you can do. So he's sharing with me life. He's giving me from his essence so that I can manifest myself. And so this belief that Hashem Yisborach is Melech Haaretz Kavoidoi, Al Yedei Ze Ma'ale Manasseh Ragel HaShechina. So the legs of the Shechina, what are the legs of the Shechina? The physical world, the world of matter, is the legs of the Shechina. It's the lowest on what she stands. And so he now brings in the realization of Melech Haaretz Kavoidoi. He brings in her husband, which is the manifestation of the source, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the one that created and wants this to be the way that it is. He is now bringing that into all of creation through his belief, through his realization that that's the nature and that's how it is. And this is with all the kavanas that we have. It's not that with the kavana we create this reality. This reality always was and always will be. With the kavana, we are revealing it within the manifested physical body. And so that means that we are creating within humanity something that it always was and always will be real. And so when we believe it, the physical body knows what is always true before there even was a physical body. And this is the goal, is that we should update the knowledge within the physical body so that it can know within creation what was known before creation, so that they can have the same context of what's taking place, so that they can know how to manifest it in a way that unites the intentions. The intention of the Creator and the intention of creation. And so when he believes that there's Melech Haaretz Kavoidoi, that this is the nature, then he elevates the feet of the Shechina. He brings her back to her husband. So he shouldn't worry about whether he's being listened to. He should believe with his whole heart that he's being listened to. Any doubt that he has of whether he's being listened to is making it less listened to. And even when it is listened to, the doubt is also heard within the prayer. And so it's like a prayer of doubt. It's asking for doubt. It's asking for a maybe. It's sending messages that are not going to get the desired response. And so he should believe that everything he is saying is being listened to, and therefore he should take it very seriously with all his heart. He shouldn't just say things as if, okay, I'm doing you a favor. There's no favors being done. You're saying it and you're believing it, and you're knowing that this is your power. You have the power to say to him, this is how he designed it. And so therefore you're doing what's natural for you to do, which is to say what your intentions are and what your desires are, in order to have this conversation with the greater will, and to help the collective to heal, to find the way back to a healthy humanity, to find how humanity is supposed to interact with reality so that we can all thrive, so that we can all help each other, so we can all participate in the original intention that designed us and created us and gave us this wonderful gift. What happens later when he doesn't get answered? Then he says, oh, I believe that I was going to get answered, but here it is, and it didn't happen. It means that the prayer is going to be answered, but not in the way that you thought. There's a better way to fulfill that prayer, so it's going to be used for a better purpose. So you don't know how the prayer is going to be filled, but it's going to be filled. He wants to remove a pain from his life. But this pain is necessary for him to get to his goal, to achieve his mission in life, so it can't be taken away. So, it's in order to cleanse him from something that is wrong in his soul, that he's disconnected from his soul, so he needs this to continue, he needs this suffering to continue. So then this prayer goes for the collective, that the collective should have less suffering. Maybe a war was avoided, maybe a calamity was avoided, maybe there was something that would have happened and now he prayed to remove pain, but a different pain got removed. And so like this, we can't know the nature of how these energies are being used and how they manifest in the collective, but we can know for sure that whatever gets planted has some type of an effect on how things manifest going forward. Everything that took place till now is somehow part of the calculation of what now looks like. And now is going to affect what comes, because all of it is being calculated by the one who can manage this calculation. אם יהיה בכוון שאלוסוי, שמצפה שיעננו, אז מכניס גופניס בתוך שאלוסוי, שאירו שיהיה רק ברוחני, לתרס השכינה ולא לתרס עולם הזה, לקחה במסך מס, ובערב בזה ודיר פי חוכם חיים. So he says again this Indian, that if he really just is thinking about his own body and his own situation, and that's all he's asking for, then he's taking the power of the Shekhinah and using it for things that are not meaningful in the scale of what she is suffering. And so you can use the same power to wake up the desire of life to give more life to the world. So why use that power to be concerned just about your own individual concern? אז קוף חס, בבחינס תפילה זי יש כמה בחינס זוי למעלה מזוי כאשר קבלת מפי ספרים וסופרים, בחינס הפחוסים המספר לעצמי שיסיק נחסון לעצמי. It says, prayer has many levels of intention. The lowest level of intention is that he's just concerned about his individual situation right now, and he's like, this hurts, please take it away. And so this is a prayer, it's good. It's better than if there was no prayer, but it's the lowest level of prayer. He doesn't see the big picture. He doesn't understand that, okay, we'll solve this, there's other things. You're in exile, you're not getting life the way that life was intended to happen. So there are going to be problems. So you got this solved, you got that solved. You're busy with this, you're busy with that. You focus here, you focus there. But negative energy is going to reside within you because the world is not healed. The world doesn't have an environment that's safe for you. And so, it says that's what most people pray for. They do kindness, but they do kindness with an intention for themselves. So it's not really about the kindness. It's not that they get food from being kind. It's that they want something in return for that kindness. And so it's not coming out of kindness. It's some type of a business deal. It says, the higher level is one who intends to heal the Shekhinah. He sees the bigger problem. He understands that he's part of her. As soon as this problem is fixed above in the collective, so all the individuals get released from the problem. Everything that happens above happens below. All the souls are suffering because the Shekhinah is suffering. The Shekhinah is suffering because the souls are suffering. It's all tied into the same place. He shouldn't separate himself from the collective when he prays. So don't think of yourself as something, a separate need. No, you are the needs of the Shekhinah. You are part of her. You are what she suffers as part of her suffering. And so if her suffering is reduced, then you will suffer less. And so pray for her instead of for you. לכן שמעתי פרש השעת דברוך, אז דבר מה הם דברים השלום, לעוד מבאזן עושה, והכוון לפי שהפעולה של התפילה, ולמעלה ברם השלום ולא למטה, לפעמים לקח בני עוד מבאזן עושה בחשבן שתפילו שם חז השלום מריק, וזה אינו בדרך פי חוכם חיים. So it says, people think that prayer is about what's happening here, but no, prayer is about what's happening there. Prayer has to do with soul. Prayer is something that's oimed beruma shaloila, meaning you're changing the soul, you're changing the will, you're changing how life manifests at the source. And b'nei adam is alzalem because they are taking prayer to mean, oh, I can have this thing or that thing, let's pray for it. And so it's really, it's about correcting the soul. ויש עוד בחינה יוסם אלה שגם בתיקן למעלה ליחנס את עצמו ואיך שיעשם ובקשוי. יש בזה סכונה. That even when he prays for the right intention, he doesn't force anything. He says, if this is what's right. כמו שדור שחז"ל בפסוק עם תירום תורס אהבת שתחפץ. That you can't awaken the love only when the desire is there. So he doesn't want to push. He doesn't want to be pushy with the heavens. He says, I manifest what I think is the desire that I should manifest, and you react according to what you know is right. So you're not allowed to awaken. It's Master Rabbi Yosef de Leinechir, Rahman al-Islam, that there was a Makobel that tried to bring Mashiach by force, and it didn't work out very well. Okay, Naitzah Yutzel Ish HaMaskil, Shehu Yaseh Sheloi, V'Yispal Adov Ramurei Bal HaRutzin Yaseh Ketzon HaTov. So he releases the prayer as soon as it leaves his lips. Let the one who has the will for life decide what the right will is should happen. So this is the highest level, because he's doing his service, but he's not letting his ego get involved in this. It's not about him. It's not about this individual. It's not about anything separate from the source, the root that gives life to all. He's just a representative, and if it's right, if it's good for the collective, then by all means. And if it's wrong, he doesn't want it. He only has the good of the collective in mind. And that's the ultimate level. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining.